And we are live, guys. How you doing, Clyde?
Great. How about yourself?
Good, man. Good. Just relaxing in the house. Gonna go to my cousin's brewery. Probably here a little bit. They're having a little work party, so the one he
Nice.
works at. Yeah. So grab some pizza, a couple cold beers. Nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
What you wearing? Excuse me. Get over the cold still. What you wearing today?
Well, actually, I've just got I'm just the Apple Watch today because I'm running around all over the place. I
Nice.
was watching something about a project I'm not supposed to be talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got a text from my sister saying, "Hey, do you have any zinc or?" Basically, they've all got the fucking virus.
Oh, the Omicron.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's not. It depends on how. Like certain people, it doesn't really like. Mine was more like a really nasty cold than anything.
Yeah. I think
What's
it's
up,
the
bud?
same thing, but they're also asking about.
But you might want
Oh,
to stay away from though with
oh yeah.
your history of it.
Oh yeah. Well, or then again, or my. Yeah.
Yeah, you might definitely want to stay away from them for a couple weeks.
Yeah. They
But yeah,
just
I'm just rocking the talker. Nothing too crazy. That little micro brand watch set Ross Lennon because
yeah.
they got all the of course they have all the watches packed up for Miami. They're gonna be there for a few weeks for the show. So we do actually have the H. Moser Apple Watch coming in that I bought. I may try that out for like a little while if I can.
Oh, I
It
love
seems
that.
like a pretty cool. We got the brown dog version actually coming in.
That is
Jason,
just a
say what?
that is just a classic finger up to the rest of the promotions, the rest
And
of the
see,
watch.
the thing is, like everybody that doesn't know watches is going to think you're wearing an Apple Watch.
Yep.
You know, Jason said he's going to join in too. So today's topic is, of course, the three new Rolex releases that everybody's talking about. Paul Thorpe came up with a video. Then Jason is about to hop on here in a little bit. He had a video on it, which he had a pretty good video, guys. If you guys hadn't checked him out yet, Design Atelier, he'll be on here in a minute. He's got a great channel, does great editing. But basically, Rolex is supposedly in, and I guess Paul Thorpe heard it from a good source that it's probably happening, which I feel like we can probably trust his word on that. That they're releasing three new Rolexes: the Hulk, a new version of an Everose President Day, and an Everose Submariner with a blue dial. What are your thoughts on those, guys?
It doesn't surprise me a bit because, as we know, Rolex has the biggest premium.
Good afternoon, folks.
What's up, Jason?
Greetings from Aruba.
Hey,
I'm, I'm trying to make like that into a catchphrase, but it sounds so dorky and whatever.
But yeah, we're talking about your video and Paul Thorpe's video on the three new Rolex releases. So we
Yeah.
were getting Clyde's opinion on that.
So, Clyde, what do you think?
who fucking cares?
A nutshell. Give me a nutshell. Come on, throw us a bone here.
No, because it doesn't matter because they're all, of course, the Rolex loves precious metal because they make the most on those than any other thing. So, of course, that's why every time they do anything new, if they have their druthers, they do it in precious metal first. Zero surprise about that.
Now, Jason, I saw your video. You're not a big fan of the new Hulk?
Nope. Nope.
Okay.
I mean, like they can make probably the no. I just can't. The only thing or the only way that makes sense for me is like to make Hulk into white gold,
Mm-hmm.
not in steel again. I mean, why? For them to just like upgrade the case and the movement. I mean that those are reason enough. I mean, we've seen Rolex do that like for years, but I don't want to see that thing again.
Now, the one I really like the best is the Everose, the President Today date. That one looks like it's going to be pretty cool. Like the more I handle them, and especially the more I handle the Everose pieces, the more I like the gold that
Yeah,
Rolex
I mean
does.
that's like probably the most beautiful of the bunch. I initially thought like like in my video too. I mean, I initially thought like the Submariners like the thing that strikes me the most, but now after a few days, I'm not so keen with the Submariner anymore. I mean, like I mean, any Submariner in gold is kind of like hard for me to take. I mean, I like it as a professional tool watch, having it in gold is like, but then,
Yeah, you can't go wrong with the classic Submariner, but like you said, it's got to be stainless steel.
and that's why I have one, you know. But I
It's a
mean,
tool watch.
like what Clive said,
Yeah.
like they're going to like Rolex loves their precious metal, so they're going to like shoehorn it anywhere they could.
Now the Everose makes sense
They're
on the
gonna
day
shoehorn it up your ass.
Mhm.
but yeah, the Everose makes sense on the day. I mean, that's
Hey, what about the Air King? Has there been like a precious metal Air King?
I've never
Well,
seen one. Have you, Clyde?
No, but I'm waiting for the precious metal Explorer or Explorer 2.
But they
Mm,
have the they have the two tone. Yeah, that's true.
yeah, the two tones
On
kind of
there.
a. I hate to say it, kind of a dog.
Yeah.
I didn't
I'm-
like that either.
Well,
I didn't like
yeah.
that either.
And here's the nice thing: here's one I love about being on with you now. It's just like when you say it's two-time, it's kind of a dog. We're not going to question you. It's just like, shit, he's in the business. He knows. So it's like, okay,
No, the creds are rising on Chris'
Wait,
side.
oh yeah,
What's up, Rob? Hey, Thomas, underachieving Ken. How you guys doing? But I appreciate that,
Hello,
guys.
everybody.
I'm definitely learning a lot, especially
Well-
from Adrian. Man, it's been really great working next to him. You know.
Well, and the other thing, yeah, two-tone root beer. That's because the two-tone root beer was underappreciated. So, what?
Look at Rob there. The Rolex should only do full gold.
Yep. Why not? Why not? Because just stick it to the sheep.
You see this watch? This costs more than your car.
Stick it to the sheep long and hard. They're gonna line up for no matter what they do. So why not?
Now
Yeah,
we can only speculate. But what do you guys think that'll do to the value if they do release this of the older Hulks? Do you think they'll go down a little bit, or do you think just as strong as the market is,
They'll get
they'll,
even. They will
they'll
get.
climb?
No, it'll be like anything else. They might go down initially right after the announcement for maybe a week or two, and then people are quickly going to figure out, oh shit, we can't get the new ones either, and then they're going to plummet up. I mean, well, not plummet. That's plummet down. Then they're going to shoot up.
My measurement is like the auctions. Every time that I see these pieces go up in auctions, I know that there's some whales out there that's just willing to like bid up so that they could like, and that's very plausible so that they can raise the value of these pieces and then they could sell it like at a premium, but it's already a premium already. But that's just how it is. That's just how the speculative market is. It's the only difference with this and stocks is that you could actually hold the items in your hand whenever
Yeah.
you can fork out the money. You know, that's going in a tangent there because many people are saying that this is a bubble. This is a bubble, like the stock market, but it's not because you have actual pieces that are exchanging hands. So that's the difference here. It may be in the same trajectory or the way these values go up is the same as the stock market, but it's not. These are two different things.
And I wonder, pun intended, if their timing is perfect right now because mainland China is about to open up, right?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Even Tim Masso suspected that once these areas open up, especially China's like the number two now, if not number one. We just don't know because we don't have the statistics, right? Once these open up, it's just going to create more frenzy. And we had like, according to Tim, we had like record sales last year. This year could be even better in sales wise once China opens up. Yeah.
Yeah, because
So
there's so many millionaires in China. I think there's more millionaires, of course, than over here in the
yeah,
United States.
the thing is, like with the United States, you have this information made public as like for the most part, but in China, they control most of these information that leak outward. The only concern that I have is this Evergrande thing, how that's going to have a domino effect on everything else. The luxury watch market is going to be affected in some way, but once all of those that crisis hits full steam, we're going to see like a lot of people either hoarding, and the disparity between stocks and value would be even greater.
Yeah.
Mhm. Hey, Junior. Hey, Neff. How you guys doing?
They're exactly what underachieving is exactly saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what
Yep.
the prime minister of China was trying to go against speculation in the real estate market. So now all the wealthy Chinese are investing in watches.
Yeah, but
It's,
I mean,
Are you talking about Xi
I'm not an
Jinping?
expert. I'm not an expert in this, but I've been seeing it all over the place now. Whenever I'm reading my news, and the problem with China is they're doing it the wrong way gradually because the U.S. market tried to recover by propping in more money into not Wells Fargo. What's the bank again? But anyway, they loaned their money and they claimed like half of the percentages. So when the economy recovered, the government kind of recovered some of its money. But with China, they're propping in more debt elsewhere, and they're pumping in more debt into this $1 trillion problem of Evergrande, and that's going to make it even worse once there's no more investors to give their money and lend.
Lure in.
and see, like China, a lot of people got to understand too. China is kind of going through their industrial revolution right now. Like we went through, what was it back in the 1800s, basically?
Well, the thing is, if you've ever what is it, the channel, what's it, China Uncensored. See, at first I think I subscribed to it thinking it'd be like naked Asian chicks, but unfortunately, but
I know what channel you're talking about. It's not a bad channel.
yeah.
They
So,
ended up
I'll have to check
leaving
it out.
China, didn't they? Didn't they end up leaving because they were like fearing for their lives, basically?
yeah, yes, but they still report on it, and they still have a lot of people reporting in from it.
Mhm.
Also, the two guys, the American and the South African that used to live in China as well.
Yeah, they used to do the motorcycle trips, right?
Exactly. So, yeah, what they're and yeah, the Evergrande. It looks like the whole Chinese land market might tumble if it happens. Like I said, like one of the largest ones, Evergrande has defaulted on a bunch of their loans.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
already started.
yeah. It's already started. But if China's economy takes a big, giant, whopping, hairy, dirty, smelly shit, then that's going to affect us over here. Unfortunately, all these global economies. All these national economies are intertwined in a global economy. So
Yeah.
just like how the American stock market crash in 1929 brought down the world economy, China might do it for 2029.
Yeah, yeah, and it could be closer than we think. We don't know.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like Jason mentioned, they just don't leak any information out, hardly,
Yeah, well,
on stuff like that.
they're controlling everything. So
Well, yeah, they're godless, lying, deceitful. Communists.
yeah,
It's not Chinese. I've had some good friends that were members. That belonged to the Republic of China. Taiwan. Complete different.
hmm
Complete different. Yeah. So it's not. This is a communist thing. It's not a racist thing. It's not a Chinese thing.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. That's an interesting thing that Neff said there. So let's play some futurists here. If China's economy went down, of course, like everybody else's economy will go down. Would that force these collectors to sell off their assets? But you know what? What I think is like the first things that are going to sell out are not these collections because these collections are like small change for them. They don't make a living out of these. They'll probably sell off many of their businesses, their real estate first and foremost, and then it will trickle. They're actually going to be the last ones, but I think that's going to be affected because most of these collectors they don't collect because it's their way of living.
Mm-hmm.
They collect because this is their that's what they want. These are their toys. You don't when the going gets tough, you don't sell your toys immediately. You sell whatever everybody else would buy,
Mm-hmm.
right? So they'll probably sell houses, they'll probably sell apartments, businesses. Those are the things that that other people are going to be buying readily. Maybe cars, I don't know. but these collections of watches probably will be the last ones to go when they're really, really down. But then again, like many of these collectors, they don't really have cash on hand most of the time. They have assets and value
Or
propped up
Bitcoin.
elsewhere.
Well, yeah, but on the other hand, it's a couple of things. Number one, they used to be extremely nice, extremely great way to pay off. I'm not going to say bribe, but to encourage local and regional Communist Party officials to be a little bit more cooperative with them.
True.
Number two is it's just like why jewelry has always been, jewelry. I think there's a basis for that because it used to be if you were in a country where you weren't really welcome, if you were on the verge of being persecuted, having your goods taken at any point, it's easier to put all your wealth into shiny pieces of metal and shiny rocks. Then you can hide those a lot easier than you can, say, 2,000 head of cattle.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah.
And watches are a lot easier to take with you wherever you go than, like Jason was saying, a car, or obviously a house, apartment buildings, whatever else.
Just to I was reiterating that point.
Yeah.
Also, it's a lot easier to shove a watch up your butt than a bowl.
But here's an interesting food for thought. I mean,
Having
if the market does crash,
yeah,
what would that mean for stainless steel pieces compared to?
I think if the market crashes, metal? I think if the market crashes, the last thing on our mind will be what's the value of my Submariner going to be? It's probably going to be like, holy shit, how am I going to get food for?
Exactly.
Yeah,
100%. Yes.
So,
yeah.
Then answer your question. So unless it is just a massive, giant, hairy flop, you thought I was going to say something else. I'm trying to clean up a little bit as I go along. Flop, like a turd. Like Andy Hunter, for instance, God bless his soul, was telling me back in 2008, like steel sports Rolex, they little bit of a dip, tiny bit, like 10-15%. Two-tone state just classic models took a bigger hit, but he said within like 6 or 9 months, they'd recovered.
Yeah, see, that's the thing too. Like people that are wealthy, they might lose a little bit of money, but they're not going to be so poor or broke like the rest of the country or the rest of the world. You know what I mean? They're going to lose a little bit, but they're not going to lose head and toe, whatever.
Well, yeah, because if you're middle class and it's like, oh crap,
there you go.
Sell this Rolex at a loss. That might make my house payment for a month, or it might make my car payment for 2 or 3 months. If you are really upper class or beyond that, it's not going to make a difference. It's like, well, I can sell this and use it to pay my club fees for like the next 3 months.
Yeah. Sadly, that's the sad truth. It's the middle class that's going to suffer the most.
Always is. Well, not the middle class or the lower class.
Yeah. But we're seeing it now. I mean, gradually already in this pandemic. I mean, we already got a taste of that with many of the commodities like flour, bread, and all of those prices rising. Eggs.
Well, fortunately, many of us lost our sense of taste and smell. So the taste of it was fairly innocuous.
Luckily, that wasn't a side effect of Omicron that I had. I still taste, luckily.
Lost that taste. Oh my god! I'm so happy that I changed my diet then.
What did you change it to?
I took out all of the sugar. Most of the sugar, soft drinks, and all that.
Yeah.
And low carbs, high protein. Change it a little bit.
A lot of chicken, huh?
Yeah, well, I lost a few pounds. That's one, and it gives me a lot more energy.
That's good. But yeah, these new Rolexes though, if they do come out, I don't know what kind of effect they'll have on everything. I feel obviously the Ever Rose models I think will do really good.
Yeah. Well, it looks nice and dandy. Well, we still don't know if these are actual like Rolex releases. The person who did it like went through a lot of hurdles to get that um, done. But yeah, here's the thing: why would Rolex like make a web page and leak it or not secure it enough so that people could leak it? You know, I don't know.
Well, I don't know because I don't think they really consider us because go to open up Rolex.com and then look for the contact us section. Here's a hint. Let me save you some time. There's not one.
Yeah, that's like I said, I'm still wondering if they're not trying to do the release like in time for mainland China to open up because they know they'll be buying them up like crazy there probably.
Oh, the whole thing about Asians love precious metal because of status symbols.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's funny though? I mean, I was in one of the streams. I think it was JJ's stream that I was there, and they looked up many of these Rolex nicknames on the Rolex website, and they actually get it right. So somebody in Rolex is actually entering Batgirl, Batman, Pepsi, and you could actually enter that in their website, and you could actually see that. That's the first time I've seen it, and that's kind of interesting. So somebody out there in Rolex is actually listening to the forums and all that. You know.
Well, it's no. It's beyond that. I'm not going to say who it is, but I've had a very good authority that Rolex has their own little version of the NSA, to where there's a bunch of people in front of a bunch of computer screens, combing every type of social media, looking for anything, any mentions about Rolex, any discussions about Rolex, any Rolex sales, especially the sales of new watches. Like, for instance, one of the things that they'll do is if someone puts a new reference up, someone gets it, frowns and flips it, and they're dumb enough to say, leave the social security, show the card of the social, I mean, with the serial number, or you can see it on the reHUD if you can like enhance it a little bit. Rolex will then go through and find that, get with it, AD, and basically chastise the AD who sold it. It's
Wow.
literally like the NSA.
Man, it wouldn't surprise me. They have the money to do it, you know?
Yeah.
To hire
Yeah, I
somebody
guess.
just
I mean,
for that.
yeah. That shouldn't be any surprise. It's just that like interesting. I didn't think that they would actually like go that far.
They go that far.
That's interesting. That's interesting. That may be like a subject for a video one of these days.
So if this live stream doesn't get banned by the Chinese, it might get banned by Rolex, huh?
Or both. Exactly. Fortunately enough, if you're going to send if anyone's sending a hit team out, the only people that you can really track down is Chris with the Luxury Bazaar. I send Chris with Luxury Bazaar.
Yeah.
Oh wait, you've got come on, dude, you got a machine gun on your desk. You're good.
There was one this morning that somebody sent me in my Instagram. It's also been like I don't know, a few days in the forums. There's this patent that they scoured somewhere about a new flip lock mechanism that Rolex is developing, or at least they sent into to patent. It looks somewhat legit and it looks rather clever, but I think it looks more like that what JLC was doing for the Polaris.
Right.
I saw that, but that's also another thing that most people don't recognize is like these patents are actually, you can actually find these if you know where to look for them. And maybe it's another good content to explore in the future. But I don't want my channel to be like Rolex centric and all that.
Oh come on, sure you do. Everyone wants to. Because
I mean, like if I just care for the views, it's just that there's so many other interesting watches out there. I mean, I'll be honest, the most of Rolex design is kind of monotonous to me. You know, I have one, I know.
It's all you only have one?
Yeah, I only have one. I
Oh,
can only afford one.
Gotcha.
Thomas has a question for you, Jason. He's saying, what do you think that could be the new case feature of 2022? More tonneau shaped, more integrated bracelets, more materials being combined, more of a certain genre, pilots, diver, dress, etc.
I think that the no case is coming back, and there's so many other brands exploring the barrel shaped to no case format now, and I think we're going to see more and more of that because that's basically what the hyper market they call it.
Because RM,
Yeah, RM, yeah, because RM is like leading the way, and RM doesn't seem to be like going anywhere anytime soon. So, their design is going to be copied more and more. I've seen micro brands. I've reviewed a micro brand that's already like trying to imitate that as much as they could. So I would prefer these tonneau shape cases to be a little bit thinner than what RM is, because RM's really like really thick. Like unless there are what RM 05s, was it, like the
Well,
thinner ones.
now do you think that's going to bring up? Do you think that's going to bring up discontinued models from, like, say, from various
Frank Mueller.
manufacturers? Let's just say the Gondolo from Patek Philippe, or the Kalpa from Parmigiani.
Yeah, well, you see it already in Parmigiani. They're trying to like dive back into the well of their designs. You know, you see it in last year. They just
excuse me
made the
for 1
bracelet.
second, guys. I gotta go to the facilities. Just keep talking, but I'll be
All
right back.
Go ahead, no problem. Yeah,
Archie luxury does great.
yeah.
Yeah, great.
I mean, like they go back to like, but that's not. There's nothing wrong with that, because these are trends. Trends come and go. Like we have bell bottoms back in the day, and then we got it back in the 80s for a small window of time, and then now we're going back to tight pants. Say, I don't know if that's like a proper illustration there, but I see that that's the trend. Even some of the what you call this, some of the precious metals also are getting more and more notoriety. We've seen like bronze like coming back, but that's not really that much of a precious metal.
Right.
Well, all things considered, tantalum. I want to see more tantalum. If there's, but the thing is, like, from what I understood, tantalum's like a very rare metal, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, how badly do you want to see it? Are you willing to throw a tantalum for tantalum?
Well,
All right, I'm
that's
back.
true. I don't know, that's right.
Did you wash your hands?
Yes.
All right.
I always do.
I didn't hear water. I didn't hear any water running in the background, so I'm starting to wonder.
Real live stream. Sorry, I couldn't help it. But yeah, what were you guys talking about? Sorry.
Yeah, about that to no case being like the next trend. We've been seeing that more and more. Tantalum, I briefly mentioned that. I don't know what about Clive, what he thinks would be the trend for 2022.
I feel like Frank Mueller might be making a comeback.
I still don't see it though. I don't know. Who the only Frank Mueller promoter I see on YouTube is like what Supercar Blondie. She's the only one that I.
Well, it is kind of like an RM on a budget, sorta.
Well, it was the prototype RM in the first place. They made the tonneau shape popular back in the day, and then was it Roger Dubuis? Was it?
Mm-hmm.
That came next, and then RM. That's how I remember it. Oh, well, Palladium's also like a good one, but yeah.
And again, of course, I had so much fun. I used to be the jackass out in front who, when everyone would mention Roger Dubuis, I'd always call it Roger's debris.
I've heard it Roger Dubois, but I heard Roger Dubuis from the brand itself.
No,
right? That's how it's supposed to be.
Roger's debris, right? Like his garbage, his waste, his waste material.
I know, Clive.
Trash. But the thing is, though, he's done so many things. But and even like the Philippe de Four Simplicity, basically Philippe Dufour kind of ripped Roger Dubuis off with his homage that came out beforehand. And now if you're trying to find one like a homage that looks like that was definitely looks like or predates the simplicity, good luck. Those things are now like well into 5 figures.
Underachieving's asking what will be the next hot dial color. What do you guys think? Like red, maybe?
You know, red got kind of supplanted by the Tiffany dial.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's going to be coral or maybe Rolex likes to call it, but you see Rolex likes to call it different, so it's going to be C-oral.
That's probably one of my favorite of the OP lineup is that coral red. I kind of like it.
Yep.
I don't. Sorry, not my thing.
That the green now, like you used to have, Clyde.
Yeah.
I like the green now one. That one's pretty cool.
I don't like the double indices at 3, 6, and 9. And by the way, Neff, you don't expect any sympathy from anyone in the watch industry this year or next year.
Oh,
is green still a thing? What do you guys think?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, it's still going to be green then for this year because the Tiffany dial from Patek and the turquoise, whatever. That's kind of like green tinted, so it's still green. There was a brief few months there that red was starting to pick up, but then the Tiffany dials just took over.
What were you thinking about a white watch where the hands were like a wine color?
That'd be pretty cool.
Like what? FP Jorn blue? Purple?
Wine, like a dark red, like a burgundy wine.
On the hands.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever see the Sablier video I did with the wine dial? The micro brand? It's like actually textured. The dial is actually textured to look like you're looking like in a wine glass.
The Anordain? The Anordain?
No, they're called Sablier.
Oh no, I have to check that out.
Yeah, it's a micro brand. And they do the dial. It's like a concave style dial, and they're pretty cool.
Now, if they need any expert help for looking at the bottom of a wine glass, I could send them Hotse's contact information because seriously, nothing. We'll discuss that anyway.
Yeah, but I understand what you're saying. These are actually heat purpled hands, correct?
Yes.
Because from what I understood, if you heat like titanium or like metals enough, it would turn like orange, then blackish, then blue, then purple, right? Something like that.
But Purple Clausen actually has it, and that's so odd, and I'm surprised I didn't think of it. It's also disturbing, but which makes me even more surprised I didn't think of it. Wine colored like the lining of Dracula's coffin. He's pretty much got it.
Yeah, I've never seen any watch with that kind of hands.
Yep.
But yeah, if you get a chance, look into the Sablier pieces I was telling you about. They're pretty cool. They're kind of pricey for what they are, but if you want something kind of different, they're pretty cool.
I'll check it out.
Didn't Ming also release like a new piece with an Agengraph movement? The Agenhor chronograph, the super high-end Agenhor chronograph movement.
I don't remember. Sorry. What is that? We have like Mr. Robot on the chat.
I'm not seeing him.
Yeah. Oh, there's an Oris with a wine dial.
Yeah, there's cherry
wine
Oris.
Dial, but yeah, I'm saying hands, white dial, wine hands, because I think the white dial would bring up the hands a little bit more and the wine a little bit more.
Oh wait, I think Satori Billard actually does those, right?
Okay, I'll have to take a look.
Yeah, I think he does like these purplish heat treatment dials and hands. I'll have to check that out.
Outstanding.
Is this part of your project, Rancher?
I cannot say one way or the other.
You played the fifth on that, huh?
Yes.
You have your own NSA in your small project group, Rancher?
You can't tell where the other guys, you can never tell where they're hanging out. Oh yeah.
All right, I better be careful. I better be careful then.
No.
Well, guys, we're going on about almost 36 minutes. You guys about ready to call it a day?
Sure thing, man.
All right. Thanks for coming on, Clyde, Jason, and thanks for everybody joining in the comments. We'll see
Thanks,
you guys
Chris.
next time. Later,
Thanks,
guys and ladies.
Good afternoon.